My parents, if you're watching this, I love you so much. I miss you so much. Hello, everybody. It's Saturday, 31st of January. We're gonna shoot a video, edit it, and upload it today. I'm gonna do my oiling while I keep speaking. Okay? Let me just reduce the volume of my Alexa. Alexa, reduce the volume by 10%. Yep. Okay, so she acts up a little bit. Yes, she's she because I'm she. Everything in my house is she. My dog is she. I miss her. Anyway, so obviously today's the oiling day. So we're gonna first declutter my hair. My hair has not been doing good from last few days because I have not been able to take care of them. So we're gonna do a little bit of oiling today and we're gonna speak something very important. Very important stuff. Okay? So let's first do a mid part. Also, I saw a reel of someone, and this is also my bad that I didn't read the ingredient beforehand about the parachute oil, and there was something going on. I need to read a little bit more, but as of now, I'm not using that oil, so we'll care about that later on. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about today is parents. The reason I'm talking about parents is also when I slept last night, and this happens every now and then with me, maybe because I'm away from home, or I don't know, or sometimes it has happened when I was living with my parents. So I dream about my parents a lot. In general, I dream about so many people in my life, like people who I considered my friends when I was in school, when I was in college, sometimes my dog, sometimes my aunts, sometimes my buas, masis, whatnot. I dream about them all a lot. I just don't mention it to anyone because what's the point of it? Anyway, so I dreamt about my mom and dad last night. So I want to talk about this. How grateful I am to have parents like these. The reason being, also I saw a reel where a woman says that her father gave her a choice of choosing between things. Like, you choose. You do not ask us what you want. You choose between whatever is in front of you or whatever you want out of the options, and after that, like after 18-20 years, they're like, oh, you choose everything on your own, why do you need it like that? I was like, that makes sense. Anyway, so coming back to my point, while growing up, I have seen around me, unfortunately, women or girls where their parents did not give them a lot of choice making, which definitely leads to not making choice syndrome, if you can call it. Because imagine if you are not making choices for yourself for long 19 years, 20 years. How do you expect an adult to make choice by themselves when they turn 22? They are 1 year old child then, because they don't know how to make that choice. They have never made that choice. They will never be able to make that choice. I have seen around me where girls had like no freedom, to put it in a word, freedom to cut their own hair, like choose their own hairstyle, not like cut your own hair, but choose your own hairstyle. Like, they want to cut hair short, no, you have to grow your hair. I was like, what? And you might think this is a very silly thing to talk about, but imagine if you compare a 8-year-old who wants to cut her hair versus a 22-year-old or 30-year-old who wants to select her own partner. This is same level. The reason being, when you're 8-year-old, that decision is so important for you because you don't have anything else to think about. That decision is world for you. Similarly, when you're 30-year-old, maybe that decision is really important for you. So when you are thinking of comparison, don't think of it with current mindset. Think of it as what is important for 8-year-old, what is important for 10-year-old, what is important for 15-year-old. It is really important for parents to give that kind of decision making power to their kids, The reason being, if you do not give them, that kid will always be dependent either on you or their partner or their friends or whoever is in their life. They will never be able to make decision by themselves, and this can turn out really bad because oh, my battery is low. Because god forbid something bad happens to them or bad happening to them, they will never be able to take decision for themselves. They'll be like, okay, maybe I should reach out to someone, and then they will make a decision for me. This is a real bad scenario. I was growing up, both my parents, my mom and dad, gave me a choice to always make, and it's not like these are very big decisions if I look back with my current mindset, like with my current maturity. For example, I would there used to be like 2 day 1 day trips when I was older, okay, like when I was younger, sorry, when I was like 4th standard, 5th standard. And imagine this kid who is in like 4th, 5th, or like 3rd standard, and they're going in for a 1 day outing, 2 day outing, and I would come back to my parents and I would ask them like, can I go for this outing because this is so and so happening? They will never say no or yes to me. They will ask me first question, if you want to go, sure, let's do it. If you don't want to go, sure, let's not do it. It's as simple as that. You do not have to give the answer to the child. Let them make the decision. And obviously, if child is not able to make that decision, then obviously it's a parent's responsibility or love that they should help them. Sometimes I would be confused, like, oh, should I choose this or that? Then as simple as like this. When I used to go for a shopping, clothes shopping, okay, and this is, I'm speaking like when I'm like actual child. I do not know what material it is, what's the point of it, and how comfortable it is, nothing. But my mom would be like, then I would be like, I like this and this, but I don't know what to choose. And then my mom would give me options like, okay, see, this you can wear here, 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 this you can wear here, 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 this will long last this much, this will long last this much, now it's your choice, what do you want? And this would just give me clarity that when I'm not able to make any decision, make a pro con list, make a list or in your head or put it down on a paper. Just think about the practicality, think about your liking, think about your passion, think about how much you can afford, how much you cannot. Is it important right now, is it not important right now? It is as simple as that. Trust me, even when I'm like 30 years old or 40 years old or 50 years old, I will still follow the same rules or same ways to make a decision in my life. I will make a pro and con list, think about, okay, if I take this decision, how it's gonna turn out for me in next 6 months, next 1 year, or right now. It's as simple as that. Like, you are buying something and you're thinking like whether it's important or not to buy right now, or whether it's a need or not to buy right now. And these are very minimalistic things that people should be able to do it for themselves, especially people of my age, honestly. I mean, it actually, I feel really sad for people who do not have parents who are supportive or able to give them that kind of nourishment where they would take their own decisions. And even if it's bad, like I remember when I was a child, and this till this date my mom keep on saying the same thing, that if you take a decision, take it by yourself. If it turns out good, well and good, we are always there. If it turns out bad, if it's a mistake, we are still there. And to be honest, it's not that I'm not talking about like, oh, if I fuck up like 50 lakhs, my parents will give me. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you have to be dependent on your parents. All I'm saying is you should know back of your mind, like your neural network should be safe enough to know that, yes, I choose. I made a mistake maybe. Then I can go back to tell my parents that I'm not happy, but we have made a mistake. And they are there to welcome with open hands. They should not shame you for your bad decisions. Obviously, you should learn from your bad decisions. You do not repeat your bad decisions again and again. But that does not mean it's end of life. I saw a very good reel 2 days back where a man was saying, oh my god, I heard something. It's my fire exit. So some birds here and there keep on doing something for eating and all. So I hear noise. Yeah, going back, I saw a man saying that he makes a list of times when I felt that world is gonna end for him, and he just lists down the things. So for example, in the panic, when you think like, oh, this is the last straw, this is, if this does not work out, I'm gonna be doomed, so just write it down. After 6 months, after 1 year, whenever you felt that again, like, oh, this is gonna be end of the world now for me, go back and look at that list. See how things are actually not the end of the world. They will never be. I It's very sad that I've seen some of my friends going through something which could have been handled easily, but they chose to end then and there. And it breaks my heart that I didn't see it coming, or else I could have helped them to survive, to live the life that they deserve. uh, but we openly have this conversation at my home also. Like, I talk to my parents, I tell them that the moment I heard some news, I'll tell my mom like, okay, I heard this and this has happened, and she would be like, okay, she'll walk me through it. And as sensitive as topics like suicide, we talk about it because it's very important to you to address it. And I have always been like big fan of talking. Whatever it is, just communicate, get it over with. So I remember one thing that my mom told me, and I live by it till the end of my last breath. I would say that as long as you're breathing, as long as you're alive, the situation can change. You can still flip the tables as long as you're alive. The day your breath stops, it ends there. And remember, person who dies does not ends up the pain. They just give it to the rest of the people who are behind them and just done. The person who dies, that wins, because they do not have to care about anything anymore. The people who are left behind with the sadness, with the grief of them, they are the people who are going to suffer. They are going to one who are going to question like, oh, what did I do wrong? What could I have done more to save this person? Whether And it's not somebody's responsibility to keep you alive. Trust me, God or whoever is in this universe who has given you this life, trust me, this is really important, and you make the most out of it. Anyway, coming back to the subject of parents, I would definitely, I'm saying this now, I have said this 10 years back, I will say it after 10 years, after 20 years, till my last breath. I'm very grateful for my parents. I'm half of my father, half of my mother. My strength actually comes from my mom, and my vulnerability comes from my father. You will be very surprised. My mom is much stronger than my father, because my dad was very vulnerable when I used to study away from my home. He would call me every other weekend and like, "Are you coming home? I'm missing you." Like, and my mom will be like, "Don't come every other weekend. You have to study and all of that." So I think it's really important in life to have that kind of balance, and I'm really grateful for it, and I'll always be grateful for it. I really hope if a parent is watching this video, please give your child the ability to make that decision for yourself. Please don't cut their wings, help them grow.